Hello and welcome back to Indie Gamer. I am gonna be playing s- something called the Silver Lining. That I ran into just a few days ago when I was like, oh, I could give this one a shot. And so there's more than one episode, and I will um, start with episode 1 that says my screen is not centered, but that doesn't matter. What is decreed must be. When the when the royal family is once again threatened by the forces of evil, King Graham of Daventry embarks on a journey across the Green Isle and through a menacing storm in search of the knowledge of the Great Oracle. Will he find the answers he seeks? What is the cause of the strange events surrounding the Green Isles? And what is the identity of the mysterious cloaked man? Find out in this exciting first episode of the long-awaited The Silver Lining. Let's begin the episode. I'm gonna have a snack before it begins. There's a small intro. I've just launched the game the other day to see if it was running okay and casting okay. So there's a small cutscene of like quite a few minutes. It's a bit long, but it is what it is. To Roberta, and to all those who dare to dream. My daughter is getting married. Sorry. It's all because of her. So, this is the protagonist, King Alexander. He's like, fuck. Got my son and my daughter, this bitch. Vanessa.
That's what we're all wondering, my dear.
It was evil. It was pure evil.
Well,
Did you
I
get
guess
a
it
good
was
look at the
pure.
stranger before he vanished? No. It was all too sudden, and he was wrapped in that cloak. I just know he lifted his hand in Rosella.
Who was that stranger? And why did he do this to our children?
I don't know, but if his spell can be cast so easily, there has to be a way to undo it.
There has to be one, my lady, but I'm afraid I know not how.
Sharice?
This magic is foreign to me, sire. I've never seen a thing like it.
Do you know anyone who might know what this magic is?
I do. The Oracle of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. Her knowledge is greater than the ocean, but very few people are ever allowed to see her.
She will have to see me.
My love, you're not...
I most certainly am.
Your Majesty, if you're going to seek the Oracle, I'm going to.
No, son. We don't know what we're up against. You have to stay here
with Rosella. This is my duty, and that is yours.
But...
You must stay here, do you understand?
yes.
I'll stay here with them as well.
You do that, my love. I promise I'll be back. Farewell, my dear.
Good luck, sire. May this curse be lifted from us before it does us any more harm.
And so I don't know nothing about the game. And we'll discover that together. I know it's a point and click. Starring the voices of Jason Michaels Victor as Graham and Amy Coelho as the narrator. So, programming leads Peter Holmberg and Neil Rodriguez. Okay. Oh, I can change my actions. What's that supposed to be? So with a right click you can change.
Graham has never seen such a lovely garden in such ugly disarray.
Okay.
The tall, strong pillars are masterfully crafted, just like the rest of the castle. Graham is yet again struck by how beautiful the castle of the crown is, while still so different from his own. Please respect the personal space of others, Graham.
Interesting.
Greetings, your highnesses.
Good day, Graham. I cannot tell you how sorry Oberon and I are for all that is happening.
You are most kind, my dear queen. I hope there is something that can be done to break this enchantment on my poor children.
So do we.
Tragedy.
It's hard to believe that this started out as such a wonderful day to end in such tragedy.
It is truly unspeakable.
We haven't felt this much anguish since Edgar was kidnapped from our own garden. But you still have your children, and there must be a way to save them.
We can only hope.
Edgar?
Do you think Edgar will recover from this all right?
It's hard to say. I've noticed that his fairy soul is still fragile, but he may yet surprise us.
He will recover only when his bride does.
They were both so happy these days. Rosella kept telling me these stories about how she loved your homeland so much.
It was wonderful to see her and Edgar there together, and so happy.
I'd give anything to undo what's happened to my little girl.
It must have been lovely being able to raise your own child. And Rosella is such an eager girl. All the time she spent with us, she was always inquiring about everything in sight. Etheria, Eldritch, Edgar.
That's Rosella. Just yesterday I had to tell her to stop and go take a walk. She wouldn't talk about anything else but how she never found any reference to Edgar as a child in your lands. How young was he when Lelote took him?
Well, he,
Not long after Edgar disappeared, I commanded the lands to forget about him and never pronounce his name again, so that Titania could move on with her life and not live with the ghost of the son we never knew.
I agree. Valanice had difficult times when Alexander was stolen as an infant. Now she has to face that horror again.
You are all she has now.
I wish it could be otherwise, but she'll have to manage without me while I find a way out of this.
Interesting. Okay, so they are the parents of the soon-to-be married guy. What about this stranger?
Do you know who that stranger might have been?
I have no idea. But Edgar saw him just before he worked his magic on your daughter.
I already asked him. He couldn't tell.
I tried too, but all he could do was grieve over Rosella.
Would you come inside?
Don't you two want to come inside? This weather is terrible to be standing in.
Oh, that's all right. I'd much prefer to stay outside. This garden reminds me of the beauty of my homeland, and I feel at peace with nothing but the sky above me.
Yes, all fairies do. Even when the weather is bad as this, we do our best thinking out of doors. It helps calm our spirits. It is Titania's wish.
I understand.
All right. Goodbye then.
I'd better be leaving. The sooner I find a way to help my children, the better.
Be careful, Graham.
Yes, be careful.
Yes, be careful.
It hurts Graham to look at that lone altar where his daughter met her unjust and unexpected fate. He vows to save both her and Alexander, and hopefully find out who this stranger is as well. Moving the altar will not reveal hidden doors. The stranger quite clearly did not emerge from some hidden entrance into the gardens. What would you do with it?
Interesting.
This object is not...
So I can walk, I can inspect, while get the narrator's advice
It's
on
the cloak that
something.
that dark creature left behind when it vanished.
And so I can interact with them.
Though not sure what good it will do to have just the cloak of the stranger in his hands, Graham takes the garment into his possession.
Cool. It must have been quite a pain to record all those comments. Oh. And sometimes the icon is animated for some reason. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. For a second. I can run. No, I can't go there. Okay. So I can... It's like a regular point and click, but like in 3D. And
The throne room lies beyond these large doors. They were kept closed during the celebration as some renovations planned by Alexander and Cosima have not yet been completed. These vases are fine antiquities indeed. Cosima told Graham that they were a gift from her grandfather to her mother. She was very little when they were placed in the castle, but still remembers the smile on Alaria's face when her grandfather stepped into the main hall while servants brought the vases into the castle.
can you imagine?
Cosima told Graham she was badly scolded by her mother when she broke one of these vases when she was a girl playing hide-and-go-seek with Giallo. She couldn't quite fit in one when trying to hide. It tipped over, and, well, her mother was furious. Graham better leave them alone. He certainly wouldn't fit inside any easier than a small girl.
Really? So, yeah, I'm like just amazed at how much recording they must have done to get all these lines ready. Like, can I...
Even the bright fire from these torches matches the decoration of the castle. Bitterly, Graham's eyes linger on the garlands of fresh flowers brought in just this morning to decorate the halls for the wedding. Rosella had mischievously plucked one and tucked it behind her ear on her way to her rooms to put on her wedding gown earlier, giddy with excitement like she was a little girl all over again. Seeing them now only pains Graham, and he's tempted to rip them down and be done with more reminders of what's happened.
Can you imagine all the lines written down for a voice actor to
Graham is not going on his journey. Graham is not going on his journey dressed like this.
Okay, so I have to dress differently. And how should I dress then? I think this game could last forever. Music by Austin Haynes, sound design by Daniel Chase. So do I wear this? Art direction by Richard Flores. Michael Fortunato. Woohoo!
Once more.
Did I get an achievement? Nice tunic, buddy.
These have always come in handy for Graham to store his valuable items in. These have always come in handy for Graham to...
I can grab that gold.
Inside, Graham finds some gold coins stamped with the insignia of the Green Isles, which Alexander gave him upon their arrival.
These will surely come in handy.
Okay.
There is no way that Graham will bring the memories out of this mirror by touching it. Sadly, all he would manage to do is smudge it with his fingerprints. He will not find Rosella or her joyous laughter in there.
Okay. What about those doors?
One of Daventry's coins. Graham found it in one of his pockets the night of his arrival as he was getting ready for bed. He must have left it here and forgotten all about it.
Okay. Interesting. I'm wondering if they released it on tablets and
Graham
phones.
knows that Casima's parents are not in the castle, and it would be rude to go into their room without their permission.
I don't even know what this is. So no, I've picked up the right door. Luckily. What about the other side?
There's no point in going into that room.
Okay.
There's no point in going. Casima's parents, Alaria and Caliphin. Graham unfortunately did not have the chance to meet with them on this occasion. The Queen was called away to visit a close childhood friend who had recently become very ill and could not attend the wedding. Casima expressed her mother's profound apologies and invited the Daventry family to visit another time when Alaria would not be away and so be set with work.
Okay.
What a lovely portrait of Alexander and Casima. The painter must have been extra kind with Alexander because there are no signs of the slight unease that usually haunts his eyes. Instead, he looks as happy and as handsome as ever. Graham wishes his son were so carefree more often.
Okay. So Graham, Alexander is the son, Casima is his wife. Okay, so I'm dressed more properly, I guess. I can go out now. Yes. Let's go and find this oracle. Episode 1. What is decreed must be.
Greetings, Guard.
Eh? Oh yes. Good day. How is the king, sire?
No worse, no better, I'm afraid. But I'm going off to seek help.
Is that true? Well, I wish you luck. And if you track down that fiend who has committed such a dastardly crime, be sure that he gets his just deserts.
Calm down, my king. What's most important is the safety of the king and his sister.
Right. Right, sire. You're absolutely right. Just do whatever's possible to help my king, and we will all be more than grateful.
So is the king the son? Okay. So who is this guy? Robin Hood? What is this?
Alexander told Graham on his first fateful and dangerous visit to the Isles, he almost used this hut to disguise himself as a serving woman to infiltrate the castle. Luckily, his path ended up taking him to the Isle of the Mists and beyond, and he was able to bring Casima's parents back to her, among other things. The words of the oracle guided him, Alexander said.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. The gameplay is what it is, but directed by Richard Flores and Cesar Bitter.
What?
What? I should not go this way. I don't understand why. I can't get out of the path.
heavens!
The plants do not look too happy in this weather.
A pawn shop. Closed due to tragedy.
Ram's intuition as an experienced adventurer tells him there's nothing useful in there. Somewhere, somehow, some hand of fate decided that this chest didn't need to be opened or contain any items, almost as though by some grand cosmic game design.
Somehow.
Some vases have been left outside of the pawn shop, although Graham can't quite fathom why they are here or what their purpose is. Maybe the shop's owner is just trying to get rid of them.
Let's go to Ali's books.
No one answers.
Let's talk to this
Graham
guy.
prefers not to talk to this man. He makes him feel very uneasy, and he must stay focused.
Okay. Then let's move on. Who's that? Hey, babe.
The old ferry of the Green Isles has turned into a formal business now. There is no reply. There's no one in it. It would be just inhumane to have someone there in this foul weather. But then Graham sees Hassan standing under the rain and thinks it may just be possible to get a ferry ride today after all.
That was released in like 2010. Oh, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Around 2010, so it's kind of. Weird. I feel. But why not?
Greetings, Hassan, isn't it?
Yes. What business do you have with me?
Do you know about a stranger?
Do you have any idea who that stranger was who cast that dark spell on both Alexandra and Rosella?
Stranger? Sorry, friend, but the crowd was so riled up I couldn't see a thing. I frankly don't want to get involved with something that nasty.
Even if it might mean restoring the health of your king?
Now look, don't get me wrong, but I don't stick my head where it don't belong. My way is the way of the sea and the tides. Mysterious strangers, I'm not going there. It would either take someone real brave or real stupid to go after a fella like that.
Or someone deeply disturbed by the status of the king and his sister, huh?
You do what you have to do. We all have our place in life. Like I said, mine is the sea.
Tell me more about your business.
Why haven't you closed up your business like the rest of the town?
Why? I'll tell you why. People can wait a day or two to buy or borrow books, pawn their valuables. But when it comes to businesses like mine, we've got to stay open every day, rain or shine. Well, people have got to get somewhere. This is the one place that's always open. And believe me, I'm really sorry about what happened at the castle today, but I can't leave my ferry. You never know when someone's going to show up and ask to be boated over to the Isle of Wonder or somewhere else. People's always gotta be somewhere sometime.
What about the business status?
Who would want to travel with the recent events?
Aye, business could be better, friend. Could always be better. We were barely scraping by as it was, and then this tragedy had to happen. I'm in danger of losing my crew because I can't afford to pay them their wages. I sure hope both the weather and the king get better soon, so I don't end up out of business again.
And so that people don't have to rely on magic maps to travel around here.
Terrible times, my friend, terrible times. I made the promise that I would never go out of business again. I just can't take being stranded on land. I get land sick, you know?
For someone like you, yes, I can understand.
So what about this ferry?
Can you please let me borrow your ferry for a while?
What?
It's very important, both for the king and his sister.
Oh no. My business is hanging by a thread as it is, and I don't need your help in cutting it loose, stranger.
But I'm not a stranger. I'm the king's father, and I need your ferry so that I can get to another island to speak to someone who can help my children.
Very touching. But I'm afraid your story sounds like a tale of the high seas. You don't look like much more than a local villager.
Goodbye then.
Thank you for talking with me.
Oh my gosh. So, he's not the king. This is so... Ah. Oh. Oh. Okay. So now what? Can I go on that side? No. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Graham can remember the echoes of the children gleefully playing around the fountain just yesterday. Sadly, all he hears now is the endless hollow echo of the rain on the stones. The village square is abandoned as the rain splashes down and dominates the scene here, giving the place a distinct feeling of hushed fear and loneliness. The people and merchants have gone home, shutting themselves inside on this dreary and tragic day, leaving Graham's eyes and inner demons to play tricks on him and let him think. He keeps seeing someone or something just out of sight. Every time he turns to look, however, it's the same sight. Just more rain.
Sad.
No food and no ale await Graham through these doors, since the restaurant is closed for the remainder of the day like the rest of the village shops.
That's my
Graham
luck.
has no use for any of these tools just now, and it would be awfully rude to steal them. The events must have been truly frightening to the citizens of the island, because even the Four Winds has closed its doors today.
Okay. There's nothing I can do here.
The village square is abandoned as the rain splashes down. The people and merchants have gone home, shutting themselves inside on. Every time he turns to look, however, it's the same.
Okay. No, I can't go anywhere. Okay.
It looks like Christina's nightingale, Sing Sing, is raising a family of her own. Several noisy little nestlings are begging for food from their patient mother. She doesn't look happy in this downpour, though. Graham was almost killed by this tree on his way to the beach. It seems unlikely there's anything there for him to find, since the cloaked stranger clearly needed no sea vessel to come and go as he pleased. Perhaps it's just as well that the obstruction prevents her wasting his time there. His Majesty King Graham of Devontree.
Graham will do.
Graham takes a look at the tormented tree as its branches are mercilessly caught in a tug-of-war in the winds, to the point of looking like they might even be torn off. The king can somehow relate. Inside of him, a wild storm has just begun to rage, harrowing his every nerve, at every inch of a man who has looked evil in the eye before and won, yet has never found a way to truly put it to an end for good. Climbing the tree will not help Graham in his quest.
Nothing will. So...
It won't fit in Graham's pockets. Strange. Graham doesn't think that will help him.
Grand. I'm a bit lost, TBH. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I really don't get it. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go?
When Graham has a need for Sing Sing, he will come to her. Meanwhile, she looks rather busy. Graham peeks into one of the vases and finds nothing.
That's great. I'm glad. We're gonna go back to the city hall. Make no sense.
amazed at the fine craftsmanship of this fairy. Shamir the genie must have had extra help renovating this boat to have it come out looking like this.
It makes no sense. I don't know.
Please, I just need to borrow your ferry for a short time. It won't be very long, I promise.
Do you think I'll let my queen in the hands of a stranger? Over my dead body.
But I'm the king's father.
And I'm the sea nymph's lost niece.
Do I have like a... Oh, I do have an inventory. What is that?
What would you do with it?
Does this convince you that I am who I say I am?
What's this? Daventry? My word. It's you! My humblest apologies, sire. I had no idea.
Don't worry yourself over it. That's what I get for dressing like this everywhere I go.
I actually thought it was
Such an
fine
idiot.
attire, sir.
Just call me Graham, and keep the coin.
Thank you, Graham.
Well, can I... you know... use your ferry
will you
now?
let me borrow your ferry, Hassan?
Oh, I'm deeply sorry, Graham. But I just can't do that. I'm the only one who drives this vessel.
Well, come with me, like I'm paying you for
You must
the
understand that this is
job.
my business. I wish I could take you on a free ride, but there's the crew to pay, maintenance to do, food to buy, and then there's all these other things.
I get the point.
Aren't we moody today?
I really need that ferry.
And I said I'm sorry.
Take my money.
Would this gold be sufficient payment for buying your business?
Buying the business
How much is
completely?
that?
Should be enough to keep me in business for at least a week. And if it's not, I got more.
In the name of the seven seas, this is
Business.
as much money as you may think this is. I've got my crew to support, myself to support.
Yeah, that's
But
what a business
on
is
the other
for.
hand, if it weren't for your son,
What's your
I
price?
wouldn't have such a thriving business in the first place.
I have more gold. I'll pay whatever it takes.
All right, all right. Your story has touched me. I'll rent
My
you
story
for
or
2
my
days
money?
for this quantity. Just out of
No
respect
one
for
does
the
anything
king.
for a story.
But that's 2 days, no more. If the third morning comes and you still need her, I'll expect a little more than what you're paying.
Thank you, Captain.
Whenever you are ready.
I am ready. Ready to sail, yes.
Where are we going?
To the Isle of the Sacred.
Ah, the uppity winged ones. I don't think you'll get far, but hey, it's your call. Guys, get ready. We are sailing off to the Isle of the Sacred.
Okay. Let's go to Fern Cove. I don't know what's going on.
Is there any other way?
Haha. Afraid of getting wet, Graham?
Here goes nothing. I will be back soon.
We'll wait for you here. Come back when we're ready to sail.
Graham seems to recall reading about this flower. Its nightshade, if memory serves. They say it can take your breath away.
Let's pick it up.
There's no time for that.
Oh. What do you mean? Oh boy. Ooh.
You, come here.
Hey
Come
boys.
with us.
Okay. That was easy. What do you do there?
Greetings, human. The winds have carried the news of your tragedy.
Greetings, my lord. We were surprised not to see you at the celebration. Perhaps your majesty did not receive our invitation?
We did.
My husband had matters of great importance that, unfortunately, kept us from attending your daughter's wedding.
Ariel, the human does not need to listen to an excuse. You are here to request our help, are you not?
I was told the Oracle could be of assistance.
Only one human I recall has ever been granted an audience with the Great Oracle.
We shall always be grateful to your son for saving our daughter.
He did as our prophecies foretold.
Could I humbly ask a meeting with such an honorable Oracle?
Your request is declined. The disgrace over your family is not one of our concerns.
It is of great importance to all of our lands. The king himself is under a spell.
Azur, my love, let us not forget what the king did for our daughter.
And he was rewarded.
I know. However, if King Alexander was great enough to be part of one of our sacred prophecies, as you said, the prophecies foretold, perhaps we should not deny the possibility to aid him in this hour of need. There are prophecies yet to be deciphered. If the king fulfilled one, could he not fulfill another?
I find that highly unlikely, but you have proved to be right on a few occasions. Human, you may see the Oracle
What a bitch.
one time.
Thank you, kind lord.
Thank you.
My guard shall escort you.
Before I leave, may I ask another question?
You try my patience, human. Be quick about it.
I saw your incredible city as your guards brought me here. If needed, could I be granted the permission to walk about?
If you can travel to the city, yes. However, I seriously doubt that you can.
Why is that?
Are you listening to yourself? A human flying? Now that would be a sight worth to see.
We mustn't forget Icarus.
Icarus fell. As any human who thinks they can soar through the skies will.
So absurd, as are all those old bird tales. Like that one about some artifact that would allow humans to fly.
Your question has been answered. Guards!
Interesting.
Escort this human to the Great Oracle, and then out of my city.
Again, thank you, my lord. Milady.
Uh-huh. If you don't find that coin,
Great one.
Mortal, you need not speak. I know why it is you have come. You seek answers that I cannot help you find. A veil of darkness clouds your family. And something you carry is full of evil. Its mere presence weakens me.
Something that I carry. This cloak?
Take it away. It comes from a man of the purest evil.
You must tell me who he is.
His identity I cannot see, for he is shrouded in darkness. I can only say that your fate has bound you to this evil man, like vines twisted into paths that never end. He is greater than any foe you have yet faced. I cannot help you further, mortal, but there is one who may. Seek he who rules the Isle of the Mists. He shall be waiting.
Thank you for helping me, Great One.
I wish you a safe journey, mortal. May the fates watch over you in the difficult times to come.
Well, thank you. Okay, that was fairly quick and easy.
Be gone, human.
Be gone. So what now? Okay, it's been an hour. Then let me know.
There's no time for...
There's always time for flowers.
Be careful.
To the Isle of Mist.
That'll be a hard one to find, but there's nothing my queen can't set sail for and find.
Poof, poof. The Isle of Mists.
Halt! Who dares trespass on our island?
Please, I mean no harm. I wish to see the Archdruid. The Oracle sent me.
Strangers are not welcome to the island.
Let him pass. I've been expecting him. Follow me, Graham of Daventry.
Uh-huh.
You do understand I am making an exception for you, do you not?
I understand that your people are very reclusive.
And with reason, civilized one. Your kind does not understand how deeply you harm Mother Nature with your so-called civilization.
Please, I am not here to discuss political issues. A greater tragedy brought me to your shore.
I know why you are here. I spoke to Mother Nature before your arrival, and she advised me to help you. There is more at stake than what meets the eye.
Could you elaborate?
It is not only your offspring's life in danger. There is a greater, darker plan beyond my knowledge.
So you know what's wrong with my children?
Your children are under a dark spell. The only way to revert such a spell is by reaching their minds.
How can I reach their minds if they can't even hear me?
There is a way. I thought it was impossible as well, but Mother Nature is wiser than what you could imagine. You can only do so by reaching their dreams, more specifically, by traveling into them.
How can that be possible?
It is not an easy feat for a simple human, but it can be done. There is an ancient druid spell that will grant you entrance into their dreams. If you bring the ingredients of the spell to me, I can create it for you. But I must caution you, the spell involves very dangerous, unstable magic. I cannot guarantee your safety while you travel the realm of dreams.
If there's no other way, I do not have a choice. What exactly will I be looking for in these realms of dreams?
You will be on your own once inside. I know not what must be done. You must also be warned. Should you fail in bringing them back, you'll be trapped in the realm of dreams with them.
I understand.
Very well, then. Here are the ingredients. You must also find a magical bag, which is the only vessel in which the ingredients will mix for the spell. Last time I heard from it, it had been lost in the vastness of the sea. Also, the spell will only work if the subjects are in their homeland. I suggest you send your sleeping children back to the realm of Daventry as soon as possible.
I will do so. I am indebted to you for your help, noble druid. It is getting late, so I had better set a course for the Isle of the Crown, to begin looking for these ingredients.
Farewell, Graham of Daventry. Feel free to wander our isle while pursuing the ingredients. But beware of taking what is not yours or harming nature. We druids shall not hesitate in defending her to death.
Fear not.
I never do.
Outsider! Come back!
I must return to the Castle of the Crown tonight.
The Archdruid has sent for you! He said this is not a natural storm! I'd listen to him, Graham. This ain't like nothing I've ever seen in all the seas.
Let's go.
Who are these people?
These are my crew, and if they cannot come with me, then I shall not go.
Follow them.
We defied fate with the vain requests of human desires. Too late we realized that the answers to what we sought lay in our own hearts all along, and we were punished. Punished with an endless war that had just begun. They said that only after 1,000 years would a last chance be granted. One final choice would be made that would fill the fields with light or darken them with shadows. 1,000 years have passed. time of choosing is now.
That was episode 1. Okay. That was interesting. But I am surprised. Surprised for many reasons. I didn't expect to have so many animations, dialogue, comments about everything, and I haven't clicked on much. I'm surprised that even though there's so much content, like I did only a few things. I took off my... Like I went to the boat, I went to an island, I had a cutscene, I went to another island, I had another cutscene. It's like I haven't done much, but a lot has happened, and there's a shitload of people that worked on that, and it doesn't feel like it was needing so much people. That's a lot of people. Roberta Williams. Okay. I finished the Sylver Lyning episode 1. Well, that's it for today, I guess. Yes, I've had it. Interesting way of dealing with things. I don't know. It was not like, it was like 2009 9, 10, but there's been a lot of work done, like for many years there were some legal issues as usual, so I'm kind of not surprised, but I finished episode 1. Cool, in an hour. Well, what can I say? Let's come back later for episode 2. Thanks everyone. Bye.